What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. WWE Off The Script, episode number 13, part number 1. Your WWE News and Rumors for the week ending May 18th, 2014. Now, before I get into the business at hand, guys, a few things I do want to run over with you. If you missed News and Rumors last week, links are down below. Also, my brother just released New Legionary. If you guys have been supporting my channel for the past year, obviously, in every one of my videos you hear some form of Legionary music in the intro. Okay, if you guys are fans of this channel, if you support what I do on here, I would greatly appreciate you guys go out and support my brother Frank. The music is just unbelievable. The best stuff he's ever written. It is available now for download and purchase, $5. Links are down below in the description towards the very bottom. Go and check that out. You will not be disappointed. If you guys want a preview of what to expect, I did a video this past week, a Call of Duty video. Go and check that out. I'll post that down in the description below as well. And obviously, of course, this is your #1 source for WWE News and Rumors right here on YouTube.com. Now, the biggest story of the week, guys, Daniel Bryan. It is Thursday night. You guys are going to be seeing this tomorrow morning, Friday. Daniel Bryan has had successful neck surgery. I got the breaking news this afternoon. I'm going to start with this. WWE has announced that WWE World Heavyweight Champion Daniel Bryan successfully underwent neck surgery today in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania with Dr. James Maroon. Bryan is now wearing a soft neck brace and is already out of bed, which is a positive sign. He's expected to be released from the hospital in 1 to 2 days. WWE noted that a lingering nerve issue with Bryan's neck caused them to have to perform a cervical procedure in order to decompress the root of the nerve. During that procedure, surgeons go in through the back of the neck and shave the inside edges of joints in the neck and spine that are causing compression in order to prevent the eventual collapse of the spinal disc. WWE adds that there is no timetable for Bryan's return yet. Usual recovery from this procedure for heavy physical activity is 2 to 3 months. WWE noted before that Bryan's timetable to return should be around SummerSlam. WWE will actually address the state of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship on Monday Night Raw this coming Monday from London, England. Now, my opinion on this, #1, Daniel Bryan, get well, get back soon. I hope you make a full recovery. We need you. WWE needs you, okay? The simple fact that they need him because there's not that one guy, like I've been stating, that deserves that WWE Championship more than Daniel Bryan. Now, the state of the WWE Championship, I don't know what the WWE Creative and Vince and Triple H and Stephanie, I don't know what they're planning. I've heard rumors that the WWE does not mind keeping the title on Daniel Bryan until he makes a full recovery. I'm hoping they think the same way that I do, that he deserves the title. He worked his ass off to get where he is. All this build-up and all this fuss about Daniel Bryan being the WWE Championship, and then, his father passed away, he got married, he needed emergency neck surgery. One thing after another, 2 of the things were not his fault. Okay, obviously he had the wedding planned. WWE graciously gave him time off for that. So be it, whatever. But WWE should really keep the title on him for the time that he's out, the 2 to 3 months. Reason being is because, like I said, nobody deserves it. I don't think the company is going to suffer that greatly with him out. Okay? That's my opinion on it. This opens up new doors. Daniel Bryan out. You don't need to defend the WWE Championship. You got the Wyatts. You got the Shield. You got Evolution. You got Bo Dallas coming in. You got all these young guys. You got all these young guys who, they crave this. Not to say that they want Daniel Bryan to be injured, but when a top guy is plucked from his position, obviously the guys below them are going to step up their game and try to grab that fucking brass ring that everyone talks about that Vince McMahon has. So it's good in a way for the competitive side of the guys on the roster. Everybody wants that top spot. Everyone's going to get elevated up that ladder with Daniel Bryan being out. I don't necessarily see it being a bad thing that the WWE Championship is not going to be defended. This is out in the open. This is public. His father's death was public. Him being married was public. Him being injured with a neck injury for all the years of abuse is public. Obviously, this was needed. There's nothing wrong with having your champion out. Okay? There's nothing wrong with having your champion out. Keep it on him. Don't take it off of him. If they do, it's a mistake. Because if they take it off of him, then you're just going to revert back to the old, boring shit, and you're going to have all the storylines potentially that could have been SummerSlam angles, potential huge SummerSlam angles ruined. Okay? You know, this could potentially open up the door for CM Punk to return. I don't want to mention Punk, but, you know, maybe Vince is now, you know what, Bryan is out. He's our champion. We're going to keep the belt on him, but in the meantime, to stop the bleeding, let's bring Punk back in. Who knows? Who knows what WWE's thinking? You know, they may bring in Sting. I don't know. All I know is Bryan, he's going to make a full recovery. He's going to be back by SummerSlam. He's still the WWE champion as of this recording. I do hope that they keep the belt on him. We'll find out what the status of the WWE Championship is on Monday Night Raw. That's going to be the big lead-in to Monday Night Raw. Now, also in Daniel Bryan news, before he got hurt, it's no secret that Daniel Bryan doesn't speak out backstage and doesn't carry an ego. It's been noted here on this channel, and I've reported it, that most top stars will question WWE creative decisions, but Bryan won't. Bryan will not question WWE creative. Word from the backstage area is that even Bryan questioned the logic from Monday Night Raw a few weeks back where creative had him running scared from Kane. Elsewhere in the company, like online with the fans, the booking was greeted with an overwhelming degree of pessimism. One observer commented, if this is Triple H's way of slowly killing Bryan's momentum, it is working. Everybody, was outraged by that. I came on here saying, what the fuck are they doing? This is your WWE champion. He just came off the biggest moment in his career at WrestleMania. You know, what are you going to do when he runs into Brock Lesnar? He's running from Kane now. You're going to have him fucking face Brock Lesnar potentially at SummerSlam. You're going to have him stare Brock Lesnar face to face. You know, Daniel Bryan needs to be booked as that rough and tough underdog champion that everyone roots and stands behind and wants to succeed, to see succeed. You know, I wouldn't necessarily throw 1,000,001 roadblocks at him where, it's going to be, he's got to hurdle over this and overcome that. Daniel Bryan should be booked as a strong champion. He's he's the best worker in the business. Why should he look weak at all? The only thing I question about that is him running scared. If they wanted to book it in a better way, and this is the fans, they don't really perceive what's going on TV. They're always quick to judge. I'm quick to judge at times, but I seen the angle for what it was. Bryan, I seen the positive in it. I seen Bryan trying to save his wife and get his wife out of harm's way. I also seen him running, but, I kind of pieced it together, and I'm hoping that the WWE meant it in that way. That they're trying to have Bryan save his wife from being injured by Kane, or captured by Kane, taken hostage by Kane, whatever whatever Kane was going to do. But have him running scared, not needed. You don't book him that way. You got to book him strong. The underdog guy is the easiest guy to book in wrestling. I don't understand it. They did such a great job with Daniel Bryan, overcoming the odds against Triple H and the Authority. Now what are you doing with him? You're completely lost with Daniel Bryan's booking. Because you got him in a match with Kane. This injury may have been the best thing for him, just to get him out of this fucking angle. Because this angle was damaging to his fucking run. This was damaging to his run. I'm actually glad that he's going to be 100% healthy. He got the neck fixed. He's going to come back. Hopefully still the champion, like I said. But, the neck injury may be a blessing. To rest him up and just get him away from this fucking angle. This angle did him no good. Kane just needs to go away. I don't want to see no more Kane and Daniel Bryan. We've seen it too many times. Daniel Bryan needs to move on to bigger and better things and finally get his push as WWE Champion. He needs to legitimize his WWE Championship reign. Hopefully WWE does that, but we'll see on Monday. It's been reported that there is no pressure for AJ Lee to return, and that when WWE officials talk about AJ Lee, that they say they are fine with her taking as much time off as she needs. Word coming out of WWE is that AJ may have recently informed officials that she will be ready for Money in the Bank on June 29th. So look for AJ to be coming back. You know, she deserved time off, man. She was working hard. She pretty much carried the Divas division on her back. She's the longest reigning Divas champion of all time. You know, obviously she wants to spend time with Punk. She just needs some rest and relaxation. She'll be back for June 29th, Money in the Bank, according to the rumors, and that's when we'll eventually build towards AJ wanting to get her Divas title back, put her in a program with Paige, and you got your Divas Championship feud for the remainder of the year. I look forward to that. It's going to be exciting to see some actual Divas storylines that mean something on WWE TV. And like I said before about Paige, Paige is actually getting me slowly into the Divas division. That's how good she is. Word coming out of Monday's Raw was that some officials are considering Emma a disappointment. The feeling is that her gimmick worked a lot better in NXT than it has on the main roster. Well, let me tell you something. You put her with fucking Santino, you're gonna fail. Whose idea was that? If you give Emma the ring to herself with other divas and just let her be on her own, she will get over. Just like people were concerned about Paige last week. They don't think Paige is interacting with the crowd. They don't think Paige is grasping the crowd and, you know, captivating the crowd. She's fucking there for 1 month. What do you want her to do? Then you put Emma, you're saying Emma's a disappointment. You didn't give Emma any time in the ring besides matches with Fandango and Summer Rae. How are you going to assess and watch these women develop if you're going to put them in shitty fucking angles? You know, get Emma away from Santino. You know, do what she does in NXT, but on her own in WWE. She's fully capable of delivering a decent match. Get her on Raw. Put her against a fucking Alicia Fox or Paige. I would love to see that. You know, these women have the qualifications to give you decent wrestling. But WWE's too quick to judge. She's a disappointment. You're making her a disappointment. Everyone who's with Santino is a disappointment. Everybody. Get her away from that shit fucking character, Santino. Put her on her own. Let her do what she does in NXT on Raw and on SmackDown. People will gravitate to her. She's a likable character. Alright? She's got fun theme music. People can relate. The young girls can relate. Get her on the roster. Let her do what she does in NXT. Let her on her own. That's it. It's been reported recently that WWE officials have an offer out to Ric Flair that would see him return for a more regular WWE TV role if Flair can clean up some of his personal issues going forward. It said that Vince McMahon flat out does not want Flair on WWE TV because he still doesn't trust Flair with a live mic or trust Flair's ability to stay out of some sort of public scandal. At the same time, Triple H is the one behind the deal to bring Flair back in a more regular role. While some may assume Vince will get his way, that is not the case. Vince is said to be leaving the matter up to Triple H, even though he is strongly against it. A source notes that Vince is trying to give Triple H enough freedom to make his own mistakes and learn from them. Vince reportedly feels that Flair will ultimately prove him right, and Triple H will realize why Vince was against it after all. You know what? I agree with Vince. Let Triple H do what he wants to do. If he makes a mistake, he'll learn from it. You know, let him clean up his own mess. He's got to learn if he's going to take over the business from Vince. He's got to make mistakes and learn from them. That's the only way he's going to better himself in the role he is in now. And Flair, I think Flair would add a lot, especially with Batista going out to promote his new movie. Flair being with Evolution will add that little piece, that missing piece since Batista's going to be out. It's always great to see Flair on TV. It's always great to see Flair with a microphone. He always gets that reaction. It's always exciting to see him. You never know what he's going to say. He's spontaneous. He's unexpected. I would like to see Flair on TV. But again, if the source notes that Vince is trying to give Triple H freedom in making his own mistakes, who knows? You know, Flair and Triple H are very close. Okay, so I would say Triple H is going to bring back Flair. But, like I said, I'm with Vince on this one. If the source is right, if the rumors are right, give Triple H the ball. Let him do what he wants. Let him do what he thinks is best for business. If it fails, it fails. He makes a mistake. He'll learn from it. That's the way you got to grow. I agree with Vince on that one. And finally, guys, actually I got a few more things. In response to a story I reported last week in part 3 of Off the Script, there are higher-ups in WWE that Daniel Bryan isn't really over, as his yes chant seems to be, and that there was a lot of concern over his future as a top star. It said that everything is still planned for Daniel Bryan to be the number 2 guy in the company behind John Cena for the foreseeable future. Good. He deserves to be number 2, eventually moved up to number 1. That's how good Daniel Bryan is. Regarding WWE recently releasing Mason Ryan, officials felt that he wasn't improving at a fast rate. Ryan was well-liked and didn't have an ego. It was noted that it must have taken a lot for WWE to release Ryan because he has the size that they like, and WWE liked the idea of having a superstar babyface from Wales. And finally, guys, to end this part on Off the Script this week on Friday, a major crisis within TNA was averted during last week's set of TNA tapings in Orlando, which nearly led to the production crew walking out on the company. The production crew were reportedly upset about not being paid on time and threatened to walk out of tapings if their demands for pay were not met by a certain time. The concern reached TNA management, and checks were issued to the crew, and everything cooled off in what was being reported as a tense 24 hours. TNA is in trouble, and I got news on TNA leading into part 2. I believe their deal with Spike TV may be in jeopardy. I don't know what's happening with TNA, guys. You know, all this shit I read about TNA, I've been saying it. I do not see them lasting till the end of 2014. I believe they will close their doors. They let AJ Styles walk. They let Kazarian walk. Christopher Daniels is gone. Kurt Angle's a free agent in September. Sting is not there anymore. Who are you going to have left? Who are you going to have left? Nobody. There's not one major guy in TNA. And WWE was foolish not to pick up Samoa Joe when they had the chance. WWE was foolish not to pick up Bobby Roode when they had the chance. You know, those are the only two guys left that got star power. You got Magnus, you got Jeff Hardy there. Jeff Hardy, I expect back in WWE eventually. You know, he's always a fucking top name in WWE. He sells merchandise. Vince loves that. Alright, he's a crowd favorite. Imagine Jeff Hardy back in the WWE. I know a lot of people who would want to see that. I know a lot of people that want to see that soon. TNA's done, man. I say TNA done at the end of 2014. And the shit I read, man, I mean, I don't know. That's not good. It's just not good for TNA business-wise. You know, Dixie Carter's a fool. She wrote the book on how to ruin a business in 5 years. You're trying to compete with WWE. You're trying to be WWE. You can't. You don't have the resources. You don't have the star power. You don't have what WWE has. You just don't. You don't have that appeal. Do what you do best. Minor storylines and in-ring action. Show off the talent you have in the ring. That's all you need to do. You will never compete with WWE. Get it out of your heads. You're never going to compete with WWE. Just give us wrestling. Give us no bullshit wrestling without the fucking copycat characteristics that you try to steal from WWE. Eric Young, for example. You know? That's their answer to Daniel Bryan. Come on, man. But this crisis was averted. People were not being paid. They got their checks eventually. And like the report says, it was a tense 24 hours. So, whatever. TNA, I don't see going into 2015. I see them closing the doors by 2014. December. That's my prediction on that. But this is part 1, guys, of Off the Script. If you enjoyed, let me know down below what you thought of the top stories this week. Like, favorite, share, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. I will be back in part 2. Daniel Bryan out till SummerSlam. What is the status of the WWE Championship? Are there rumors of Daniel Bryan being stripped? Or is he going to keep the title? I got news on that, part 2. And then in part 3, guys, I actually got big news. If you guys are video game fans, WWE 2K15. News on that. Some game modes are going to be replacing the WrestleMania, Road to WrestleMania game mode that was in 2K14. And I got a release date that was leaked. What WWE wants to do with the release of the new game and when they want to release it. So I got news on that in part 3, guys. So stay tuned. I'm JD. This is Off the Script part 1. I'll see you guys in part 2, guys. Take care.